Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. Sorry I kicked off a little bit late there, but I appreciate your patience. Just waiting for the last few people to join, and then we'll get started. Okay, I think everybody's in. So hello, everyone. Welcome to our virtual open day, where you'll be provided with lots of information about us, Learna Diploma MSc, and what to expect when you study with us. We're joined today with Helen Davis. Helen is our editor-in-chief here at Learna, and also an alumni. Helen did our Executive MBA in Healthcare Management. We have Dr. Claire Holt, who is Programme Leader for our Leadership in Healthcare Programmes and our Executive MBA in Healthcare Management. Also joining us, we have Dr. Chalaradham Hatharamani, who is the Programme Leader for our Paediatrics and Child Health Programme. We will be discussing the format of the learning adopted here with Diploma MSc and its benefits. So looking forward to hearing all your ideas and thoughts on this. Then we have Catherine Scourfield. Catherine is our Head of Sales and Admissions here. So we'll be having a chat in a little bit just to go through the whole application process, what to expect and what we're looking for, just to help you guide you through this process and make it seem a little less daunting. After that, we will be showing you a demo of our learning platform. And then finally, joining us today, we have two fantastic student reps. We have Mohammed Fareed and Simona Cummins. So they will be here to give you an insight into what life is like here at Learna, why they chose us to help them on the next stage of their learning journey. And then after that, it's over to you. We want to hear from you. So please, if you have any questions, please feel free to pop them in the chat box at any point today. We have Kaylee from Student Services, Sarah, our admissions specialist, and Dr. Hader Ewad, who is the Programme Leader for our acute medicine programmes, in the chat and ready to answer your questions. We will then read through them all at the end, and you'll have a chance to ask any more that you may have after hearing from everybody today. I would like to ask that you don't turn your audio or video on, as we don't want anyone speaking at the same time and risk getting your questions lost. So as I said, you can submit your questions at any point during today's event. If you have questions about a specific course or something that we aren't able to answer today, please submit your questions to admissions@learna.ac.uk and we'll be sure to get back to you. Okay, so let's kick things off. I'll just start by giving everybody some information about Learna Diploma MSc, in case some of you are not as familiar with us. So we have been delivering online postgraduate qualifications to healthcare professionals for over 10 years now, and have already helped over 5,000 students hone their skills, improve patient outcomes, and boost not only their career prospects, but their confidence too. We offer full flexibility with our courses. They're built completely with you in mind. They're all online. We don't have lectures, seminars, we don't give you any set times to study. It's completely flexible around your own schedule. So you don't have to take time off work, you don't have to sacrifice any of your other commitments. So instead of a traditional sort of learning environment, you will learn through immersive scenario-based forums and self-reflection, which focus purely on solutions. Our deeply engaging, clinically enriched scenario-led courses mean you can interact as well and network with like-minded multidisciplinary colleagues from all over the world, because we are a completely global company. This we find gives you fresh perspectives and new experiences that a traditional classroom simply couldn't offer. Following that, we want to break down financial barriers that often come with postgraduate qualifications. So we offer some of the most affordable prices on the market. We do not offer charge any international surcharge at all. We have interest-free payment plans. We're really on a mission to make education accessible to everybody. So let's move on to our guests today. As we mentioned, we have Helen Davis, Dr. Holt, and Dr. Hathramani here today. So hello to you all. Thank you for joining us. Hello. Let's start by, if you guys want to give a brief introduction, tell us a bit more about yourselves and your background. Helen, would you like to go first?
Oh, yeah, thank you. Hi, everyone. It's so lovely to see everybody online today. It's certainly a rainy day here in Wales, so wherever you're joining from, it's lovely to meet you all. My name's Helen. I am editor-in-chief for Learna, which means that all of the brand new programs that we develop every year, we have a strategy to bring on many new programs with our existing partners and to develop programs with further university partners. And my task is to bring on those new programs to match specific topics with the needs of the audience and to maintain our existing portfolio of programs that we've built up over well over 10 years of work now. So we have a large portfolio of programs that are all at master's and PG Dip level, and we develop those and maintain them for existing and future students. So my background is in medical education, specifically online medical education, and also a strong background in customer service. And so student experience and student engagement on the online platform is what really keeps my blood pumping and really, really makes our team work here to make sure that the content is engaging, that our tutors are delivering excellent content to yourselves, and that you go on and pass that forward, that you learn and then you pass that on as you continue through your careers. So if I'm doing my job correctly, then that's the goal that we have for the content and for the experience that students have whilst they're on our online platform.
Thank you. Dr. Holt?
Thank you, Stacey, and hello everyone, and welcome to the Open Day from myself. So a bit about me. I've been working with Learna now for, I think it's just over 5 years. Might be wrong, might be a bit more, might be a little less, but it's certainly coming around, certainly around that point. And my background, well, I've been working in the wonderful world of academia now for about 12 years, where my work has been taking me across all aspects of public sector leadership, but particularly healthcare leadership. And I've been working with various trusts across Wales, Scotland and England, as well as work with the NHS Leadership Academy. I'm one of the principal tutors on the Elizabeth Garrett Anderson programme, as well as being a programme lead and tutor here at Learna for, as Stacey said, the MSc PG Dip in Leadership in Healthcare and also the Executive MBA in Healthcare Management. So I'm always in touch with, I suppose, what's going on the front line. I speak to doctors, nurses, managers from middle to senior management, paramedics, pharmacists, linguists, you name it. I'm in touch with what's going on, and what I like to do with the programs here with Learna is ensure that all of this is kept relevant, fresh and up to date, to ensure that learning is continuous, fresh and up to date for you guys. A little bit about me prior to my world, or entering the world of academia. I used to be an air traffic controller. And I suppose that's where a lot of my interest in healthcare leadership comes from, in the fact that I used to be and do a lot of work on passenger safety. And of course, a lot of that now reflects across into patient safety. So I suppose that's where the link is. And there's also a lot of, I can certainly empathise with shift work, working under pressure, decision-making under pressure, working in very, very critical situations, fluid situations, situations where you often have to really think on your feet and use professional discretion and those gut instincts. So I like to think that I've got sort of a credible understanding of what it's like to work in some high pressure scenarios. And then also prior to that, I have got some time in customer service and working in the finance industry, but let me just say my time in the finance world was very short-lived. It's certainly not where my areas of expertise lie. So yes, as program lead, I suppose I am also, when you do enter onto these programs, here to help you and support you as best we can through the learning experience, as well as working with the amazing team at Learna.
Perfect, thank you. And Dr. Hathramani?
Hi everyone, welcome to our open day. Nice to see you all. And thanks Helen and Claire and Stacey, of course. So my name's Karuna. I am a medical editor at Learna. I work very closely with Helen, and my job is to look at the content and make sure it's all, look at the medical side of things. I'm also a tutor with various other courses with Learna. Just to name a few, I do some obesity, weight management. I also do some primary cardiovascular medicine. My background is in general practice or primary care. In addition to that, I work across other departments in Learna. As a tutor, I obviously have lots of links with the teaching and learning department, but also with student support. If there's any student queries, I will also come in there. So yeah, so I'm a senior lecturer with Learna as well. So nice to meet you all. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so following on from that then, Karuna, can you talk to us about the style of learning that we use here and the benefits that you found?
Okay, so we've obviously got several courses, and the courses are set up as 6 modules, and as Claire mentioned, each course has a program lead who's an expert in that particular course. So we have 6 modules of 6 weeks, and the modules are basically all linked to the topic that you're learning. We have 4 different methods of learning within each module. One is the academic forum, which I'm sure we'll discuss in a bit more detail, which is a case-based discussion amongst the tutors and the peers. We have a reflective journal element, which involves you reflecting on what you've learned, where your learning gaps are. We'll obviously go into more of this in more detail. We also have a module activity, and then we also have an exam. So the benefits are, Stacey already said earlier, is that this is very flexible. Everything is online. It's asynchronous learning. I see one of the big benefits is that it has an international reach. So we're learning exponentially as we go along from each other all around the world. So we're learning what's relevant to us and what's relevant to the world, which obviously in this global world, and it's very important. And obviously that's the big thing. Obviously it's all online, but we have a great team at Learna, and they're always at hand for you to arrange a call to speak to them. I'm sure Stacey will go more into that. So it's a great opportunity for you to learn and develop your career with credentials that will help your career, but also improve your academic learning and career progression. And obviously confidence. So yeah, and great for networking as well. So lots of benefits. Thank you.
Thank you. And Dr. Holt, can you sort of talk us through, am I okay to call you Claire? Yeah.
Yeah, call me Claire.
Okay, thank you. Claire, can you talk us through, what sort of typical module might look like? So someone's coming on week 1, module 1, what can they expect?
Well, I can talk about it directly because I've just started a new module just this week. So it usually starts off with very much a welcome from the tutor. The tutor will introduce themselves, and they'll also ask everybody in the group, all the other students, to introduce themselves. Just a little bit about your backgrounds, maybe why you're doing the programme, what you're interested in getting from it. And then I tend to, with the leadership diploma in particular, each week tends to build. I tend to start with, and all the modules on leadership tend to start with looking at very much academic theories, looking at the theories behind the particular topic that we'll be looking at that week. And then one thing that we do pride ourselves on with the learner and the way the modules develop is then we take those theories and we apply them critically and practically to reality. What is it and how do these work in practice? So all the scenarios and the tasks and the academic forum discussions are very much looking at what does the literature say? What does the evidence say? What does the peer-reviewed or academic research papers said versus maybe some of the more practical papers, more evidence-based papers say? And how do they work in practice? Because obviously what we recognise is that theories are not reality, but what theories do is help you make sense of reality. And what we find from the students as each module develops is it really helps them understand and recognise why things are the way they are in reality, but also to make sense of them, to build confidence in how they can help maybe improve reality and make some effective change and innovative change in reality. So that's pretty much how each module builds. But what we also get from that, from the discussions, is people learning from each other across the modules. So it's not just looking at that theory and looking at practice in general, but it's also looking at practice, whether it be in one discipline or another, or one culture or one country and one healthcare service to another. So I think the most important thing for me is the amount of learning that people get from each other, not just from the content and the scenarios, the tutor. It's about learning from each other as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's definitely one of the advantages of having that global community. You can just, pull ideas from and understanding, just getting different perspectives on things as well, which would really help you in your practice.
And I think for me, what's important as well is that we get so many different levels of student that some may have already come across these theories before, so they can really help build and help each other, help their peers with that critical thinking of why it works or why it doesn't work. Is it, what elements of it are real and practical and what elements of it are just theoretical and conceptual? So I think, the different layers that we get from students, the layers, the diversity in expertise, the diversity in knowledge is very, very valuable as well in this learning environment.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you. And Helen, as our editor-in-chief, you have a huge part in sort of pulling our programs together, creating them, and also as a former student. I just wanted to ask you, what makes studying with Learna Diploma MSc different? What are the advantages that you've found as well of our online learning platform?
Oh, yes, thank you, Stacey. And just to add on to the comments from both Karuna and from Claire, much of the experience that the students will have is that it's quite a small group size. Our group sizes are between 10 and 15 students per tutor. Our tutors are experts. Most of them are working directly within the industry. And the magic that happens here at Learna is that we bring these groups of people together and allow them to exchange and engage within the content. So I think what makes it really different is the concept of online learning has a broad range of expectation, but for us, we are focused on delivering online consistently and over a long time period. So we've been developing online platforms for a long time, and we always want somebody to have 100% online experience. So as Karuna rightly mentioned, we have a lovely team of people behind us, so it's a very human experience. And although online learning can feel lonely at times, you feel like it's just you and you're logging in from your front room or from your office at the hospital or from wherever you can grab some space to log in and to join in the learning. We make that experience as fruitful and as engaging as possible. So it really does allow you to log in at whatever time. So if you're working on a shift pattern, you can log in at certain times and you still feel very much engaged within the discussion, within the academic forum. You can feel very much on top of the assessments that you have to complete within that module, and you can catch up with your fellow students with various mechanisms to make sure that you're joining in the discussion. So for me, and I was when I was revising, learning online rather, and joining in the discussions with fellow students all around the world. My fellow students were in Canada, they were in South Africa, they were here in the UK, busy working doctors in hospital shifts. But we did join together at various points, and with the tutor direction that we were getting from the tutors for each of the modules, it really was an engaging experience, and we did learn from each other as much as learning from the reading and the activities that the content drives you to go and explore. It's a lovely time to explore a topic that you've always wanted to dig into a little bit more. This may be for some career progression, as it was for myself, and validation of some knowledge that I'd built up over the years. I wanted to check my knowledge against peers and against the theories that exist around those topic areas that I'd been working very heavily in. And when you're in a working experience, you have to learn something quickly just in time and then get on with it and do it. And these courses allow a little more of that exploration into those topic areas. So that's what I really relished from that. The excuse to sit and read, the ability to be able to read some articles and to engage in discussion with a group that are all there for the same reason and are all at various stages in their career paths. So you really learn from each other. So I think that's the key. It's we might say it quite glibly, it's a global product and it's for everybody around the world, but it truly does exist within the learning groups, which I'm sure Simona and Mohammed would be able to contest to as well. So I'd encourage everybody to really consider that. Although it's 100% online, it really is an engaging and a sort of a warm human experience when you actually get to the platform.
Perfect, thank you, Helen. So have you found, so Claire, Karuna, in your experiences as tutors, program leaders, have you found that throughout, a student's sort of life cycle with us, you've seen, how these courses can sort of help in confidence, with their professional lives? Are they able to apply easily to their daily practice?
Yes, it's a short answer. And there is certainly that evaluation that comes back from students on completion of the program. But what I like most of all is how a lot of that comes through in the reflective journals that we ask you to do each week. We ask you to input an entry into a reflective journal using a reflective model preferably, where what we ask you to do is look at how what you have learned that week is applicable, whether or not you've managed to apply it straight away, whether or not you believe it's applicable in the future, or whether or not it's something that you've used in the past and it's helped you make sense of something that you've done previously. I've certainly found that as the modules progress, these reflections that students share certainly evidence building and confidence, to the point where I know that many have felt they can then maybe go for that next job application, that next promotion. A couple of real examples is we had a NICU nurse, a neonatal intensive care nurse at a children's hospital here in the UK. She knew she wanted promotion, and module 3 decided that she would stick her head above the parapet and apply for matron. She didn't think she would get it. She was very honest in a reflective journal, but she got it. And one of the reasons being, when she then reflected why she got it, is because she now had the language to use to make sure it sounded like she knew what she was doing. She knew she was capable. She knew what she was doing. But all of a sudden, she now had the right language to use. She had an extra layer of confidence to go for that next promotion. She continued to do her masters with us. She did the diploma and the masters, and she's now absolutely excelling as a matron of this intensive care unit in a top children's hospital for the NHS. Another example, she was a paramedic, very young, wanted promotion, but didn't realize she would get it so soon. And again, the program is what gave her the confidence. It gave her the language. It gave her the foundations and the tools to be able to apply herself for that next big promotion. And, and I feel so proud that they get so much from the program so early to be able to do that.
Yeah, that's fantastic. It's always great to hear things like that. I know there's such great work that goes on, behind the scenes to make sure that, these courses are bringing out the best in the students. And, it's always amazing to see when those kind of things come into fruition. Okay, so
can I just add? Yeah, I'd just like to echo what Claire said. I think the reflective journal component of the module is a great way. We do have, it's almost a one-to-one with your tutor every week. So, and it's amazing to see, even in that first module, how in week 1, they may, even at the end of the first module, you've got students saying, I can't believe how much I've come along just in one module. So that vision is so much more amplified at the end. And obviously with the career progression advantages, that's great. But yeah, I think the reflective journal is great. So you have that one-to-one with your tutor who will encourage you to, well, how are you applying this to practice? What are your learning gaps? So it's great. Yeah, thank you.
Great, yeah, thank you.
Sorry, Stacey, the reflective journal, just to really sort of build on what Karuna just said, to me, I also do exec coaching. And I think the reflective journal for me is a way of informal coaching that the tutors can actually help. It is sort of one step beyond just being a tutor. It helps us help you an additional layer your thinking and your learning experience.
Yeah, definitely. That's great. That's really, really wonderful insights from all of you there. So I just want to thank you for your time today. Thank you for answering the questions.
And I think just one more thing, importantly, with the reflective journal, it is an individualized journal. So, you know, you are with your tutor, and your tutor is individualizing, because obviously the forum where you're discussing with others is one way of learning, and it's a great way of learning, but the reflective journal is personalized. So, you know, you're taken on that journey as well.
Brilliant, thank you. And yes, really, really great information for everybody here watching today, I'm sure. Really enjoyed talking to you all. Thank you for answering our questions. If you could stick around, so we have our Q&A portion at the end, just if you can help them with questions there that any students have. But thank you again, Helen, Claire, Corona, for your time today. So once you have now decided to join one of our courses, the next step is then to fill in your application. This can seem a little daunting at first. Of course, you want to make a good impression, as the application process is competitive on our courses. But here to help you today is Catherine Schofield. Kath is the head of sales and admissions here at Learna, and she's to talk you through the stages of your application and you know what we're looking for when you're filling that out. So Kath, thank you so much for joining us today.
No problem at all. Thank you, and welcome everybody to the open day.
So I'll just get through some questions. So the first question to you is, can you talk us through how the application process works? What happens from when someone decides to apply, and then if they're lucky to get accepted?
Sure, okay. So all of our applications are done through our website. So when you've had a look at the course, excuse me, when you've had a look at the course that you're interested in doing, there'll be an apply button on the website for you. Once you click that, that will then take you to your application process. Now, the application process, we like to think we've made it as easy as we possibly can. And there'll be different stages of your application. And that's just for us to find out a little bit more about you. So you'll be asked to fill in a personal statement, your personal information. You'll be asked to provide your undergraduate certificates, your work experience, and some details of your referee. Overall, it's just to find out as much information as we possibly can about you, about your background, why you're looking to take the course, and to see if you'd be a suitable candidate. Now, even though the application is done all online, our admissions department is there every step of the way to help you with any questions. So we definitely don't want you to feel like you're on your own if you're having any issues with the application process. We are on hand to help you all the way through from start to finish. So yes, our team are always here on hand to help you.
Okay, and how long should somebody set aside to complete the application?
So normally we would say if you set aside maybe half an hour to sit down and go through your application, normally that's a rough estimate really to complete your application. There may be an instance where you've started your application, but you need to come back to it later because you haven't got your undergraduate certificate on hand. That's absolutely fine. Your application will stay active, and you can just come back to it another day when you've got the information that we require.
Perfect, thank you. What kind of people do you see that may apply for these programs?
So all students need to hold a medical degree in a health-related science. So just got clinical experience working within that field. Obviously, each course is slightly different. So on our website, we go into great detail about the type of candidates that we're looking for. But again, if you do have any specific questions around that, then please just holler and give us a shout. But overall, you need to hold a medical degree.
Okay, thank you. So moving on now to the proof of English that we require. Can you explain sort of about the IELTS? If someone doesn't have it, what can they submit instead?
So the good news is our three partners have a whole list of things that they will accept as proof of English. So if you don't have IELTS, definitely don't worry. There's a long list of different alternatives that can be accepted. So each university partner is slightly different, but please don't worry if you don't have IELTS, there are other alternatives that we're able to accept. And again, our admissions department are on hand to help advise you, to give you a list of exactly what the universities accept, but there is quite a broad list.
Thank you. And let's go on to references now. So how long do these have to be? You know, how does it work? How would you choose who to put down as a referee?
So basically, we ask for 2 referees. The majority of our partners will only require 1, but we say if you put down details of 2, we've got more chance of 1 coming back quicker. What your referee will need to provide is how long they've known you, in what capacity, and whether they would deem you suitable for this course. Now you can pick an employer, a former tutor, a work colleague. It's completely up to you who you put down. And as I said, it's just for us to have a response from them on whether they think that you will be suitable for the course. So if you always provide 2, then normally we've got a better chance of one of them coming back.
Great, thank you. So the personal statement now, I know this might be one that students might find the most daunting. Can you give us sort of like a guideline they can work towards? Like how long would you expect a personal statement to be? You know, what kind of things should they include?
So there's no right or wrong personal statement, really, to be honest. We've had some that are 500 words, we've had some that are 3,000 words. The personal statement is just your chance, really, to just explain a little bit about you. So you should include things like what you currently do for a living now, why you're interested in the course, what are you looking to gain from the course. It's just for you to put as much information down for us to just try and get a gauge of you as a candidate and what it is that you're looking to get out of the course. So there is no right or wrong personal statements. It's literally just for us to get a feel for the type of candidate that you are and the reason that you're looking to do the course.
Great, thank you. If someone isn't sure, should they still apply?
It's a really big decision, and from our end we want to make sure that this is the right decision for you. So what we would always encourage is, if you are ever unsure and you're debating whether to apply or not, we would ask you to please just book in a call with our admissions department. So you can have a telephone conversation or a Zoom call one-on-one with one of our admissions officers, and they can go through the course with you and go through what you're unsure about. So yes, we would definitely say if you're ever unsure, please reach out so we can spend some time with you and hopefully come to the decision that's right for you as a candidate.
And what happens after the application is completed?
So once your application is completed in full, one of our admissions officers will review your application from start to finish. You'll either be accepted, or if there's further information that's required on your application, we'll communicate with you and let you know. So as soon as your application is completed in full and you've submitted it, we will get back in contact with you and let you know the outcome.
Great. So say I'm lucky enough to get accepted onto the course. I've received my letter by email. What happens next?
So the next stage of that would be, 1, celebrate that you've been accepted onto the course, which is fantastic news. The next stage would be for you to pay your deposit. As soon as your deposit is paid, that means your place is guaranteed and secured for you to start that cohort. There's multiple ways to pay. I think Stacey, you touched on it earlier. We offer instalments, an instalment payment plan for you. You can make your deposit online on your dashboard, over the phone with us. So as soon as that final stage is done, your place is secured and you are guaranteed on the course.
Great. And so if I was to be rejected, is there a possibility for me to apply again?
Absolutely. So there can be so many different reasons that you may be rejected. One may be down to the fact that you just don't have enough experience. So we would let you know it would be down to your experience. You go back, you gain more experience, and then absolutely we would love you to reapply again. So yes, you definitely can.
Okay, that's great, thank you. So that comes to the end of my questions on application. We've gone through everything. I hope that answers questions that you may have around there. If not, as Kath said, feel free to contact admissions@learna.ac.uk, or of course you can ask any questions you have today in our chat box. So thank you, Kath. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate your time.
No problem at all. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. So now once you've been accepted onto your course, you've paid your deposit and your place is secure, the next thing that you'll need to know is how to navigate our learning platform. So thankfully, our student services team has kindly put together a short video demonstrating our Moodle platform, which I will share with you now.
Welcome to our open day at Learna. My name is Benjamin from Student Services.
Are you able to see that? Yeah, okay, great.
In this short video, I'll be showing you a brief introduction to the learning platform Moodle, where all of your studies as a student at Learna will take place. When you start the application process with us at Learna, you will be provided with your login details to access Moodle, the learning platform. The login process is simple and straightforward. Press the blue Learner login button here, and then simply enter your username and your password into the text box and click the login button. Once you've logged in, it will take you to your dashboard. This is the easy to navigate homepage where you can access your modules and all of the supporting resources needed to aid you in your studies with us at Learna. For today's introduction, you can see Cosmetic Medicine Module 4. To access the module, press the Explore button seen here. Please be assured that the Moodle platform is interchangeable with all of the programs that we offer here at Learna. So please do not worry if you are not studying this particular program, yours will look the same. As you can see, each week has its own individual section. For the topic of today's introduction, I'll be showing you week 1 and how to access the academic forum. You can access the academic forum, which is the weekly equivalent of an in-person seminar in forum form, by clicking here. As you can see, there is an example post of a welcome post here, as well as an example on how your case scenario post from your tutor would look on the platform. Once the tutor has posted the case scenario, you are then able to respond with your research and interesting discussion points via this direct thread. Each module will be in an individual section, such as the Study Skills Orientation module, where you will access a range of introductory guides and videos that will discuss the platform in greater detail. The Instructions and Resources section, where you can access the marking criteria and easy to follow guides for each component of your module. And the Learner Library, where you can access your reading resources, academic search engine, and partner university information. This is the Learner Library, where you can access a wide range of resources that will aid you throughout your studies with us at Learna, such as your reading resources, a selection of academic search engines, such as Google Scholar, and further useful resources such as Mendeley, an external, free-to-use reference managing system. As you can see via the drop-downs, there are guides to literature searching, a guide to referencing, and a guide to poor academic practice and plagiarism. Furthermore, if you scroll down slightly, there are a range of open access ebooks that you can use to aid you with your studies. Further down the page of the Learner Library, within the Bibliographic Resources section, you are able to find academic search engines such as Academic, BMC, and Cochrane Library, and many more, which are there to be utilised and assist in finding the most suitable sources for your research. If you scroll further down the page, you can find the Useful Resources section. We recommend that you take full advantage of these, such as Mendeley and Grammarly, which become very useful in your studies. At the bottom of the page, you can find your reading resources. When you begin your program, you'll have access to these resources for your respective program and find all the relevant materials and reading resources for that particular week and for that particular module. Though our platform is designed to be extremely easy to navigate, onboarding onto a new online platform can be overwhelming. In each section of the platform, you can find direct links to contact the Student Services team, who can answer any queries or questions that you have throughout the entirety of your studies with us at Learna. We hope you have found this short introduction helpful to your application, and we hope to be onboarding you as a student with us at Learna very soon.
Okay, so that was a demonstration there of our learning platform. So I hope that video really helps you understand what to expect from Moodle and how to find everything that you might need. I understand you may have questions off the back of that video, so we do have Kaylee from our Student Services team here ready to answer any queries you have in the chat box. Okay, so now we've heard from our staff, we've given you information on the admissions process and our learning platform. So now it's time to meet our students. Today we have with us Mohammed Farid and Simona Cummings. Mohammed is studying on our medical education program and Simona is on our renal medicine program. So welcome both. Do we have Mohammed with us? I think he might have dropped off. So we'll just get started with you, Simona. Thank you so much for joining us today.
I'm here. Yes.
Oh, you're here on audio.
Yes, I am. Yeah. Almost
Okay,
reached home, so I'll be with you in a minute.
Okay, fantastic. So Simona, I'll start with you. Welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, of course. So I just wanted to ask you some questions today about sort of your time with us. So why did you choose to study with Diploma MSc?
I chose to study with Learna because of its excellent reputation with distance learning, coupled with a diversity of the accredited learning programs that were available at my fingertips. I also chose them because while the other programs, they were at least 3 years or more, Learna's program is more accommodating to my time schedule, and the quality of education that was being delivered, it was uncompromising as they were partnered with the University of South Wales. And that was a big deal to me because I didn't want to invest my time into something and I had to fight tooth and nail with a program that wasn't accredited at the end of the day. So accreditation was a big deal to me at the end.
Okay, great. Mohammed? Oh.
Yeah.
Hello. Yeah. Thank you. I just actually parked my car, so that's why I'm just out. Yeah, that was, I think, one of the best decisions I had made it to join the Diploma MSc program with Learna. But that was also one of the difficult ones. I think if you overcome that decision process, is think it very carefully where you want it to end. And it's very rewarding. I searched quite a lot of courses which do offer the online PGDIP and the MSc in medical education. But I found Learna quite valuable in terms of not only the investment of the money, but also the investment of the time. And the platform of the Moodle was really dynamic, and the distance learning, because that was my first course as a distance learning, and I really enjoyed with interaction, not only with the tutor, but also with all the students. On top of all, I would mention here the support provided by the Learna team during some of the difficult times of my relocation from one country to another. And the communication was always been there. So all the team in the Learna, in addition to the University of South Wales, was quite understanding. So I think if you have some unseen circumstances in future, probably there is a way out if you have a will, and you will still continue and complete your study. So I would highly recommend that. One more thing, I didn't get the chance to attend any of the open day in the beginning. I wish I would have been. Then I would not have any apprehensions, and I would start with a very clear mind. So I would encourage all the participants who are here to take the maximum benefit out of it. And please feel free to share any of the doubts which you might have regarding your course, time management, finances, and anything. Please do share with the team. And of course, we can share our experience with you. It's manageable. The most difficult part of joining any of the online courses is to make a decision to join. I think you have partially made it, so that's why you guys are here. So all the best with it. Thank you.
Thank you. So our next question, so you've touched on slightly there. How do you sort of balance your studying, with your work and life commitments? Simona, do you want to go first?
Balancing studying and working and life commitments was initially a bit challenging. While online learning is convenient, that didn't necessarily make it easy, especially living in an entirely different time zone. But at the end of the day, it's how badly do you want it? How badly do you want that degree? How badly do you want to go to the next level? How badly do you want that promotion, that professional growth? My strategy was prioritizing my schoolwork, prioritizing turning in everything on time so that I would have time to spend with my family and I wouldn't be swamped at work. So it's just time management.
Great, thank you. Mohammed?
Yes, I think I would agree with Simona. The most challenging part partially is the time management, but once you are on that board, then you learn how to manage the time. And I think that's the beauty of this online program, that even if you're not managing your time, if you think you are lazy like me, but still you will get there, because every week you have to do something to cope up the pace and to write the academic forum on the weekly basis, interact with the other peers related with if it's a module activity or it's assignments. And at the end of the day, in 6 weeks, you are still counting your weeks for the final module exam, which is there. So I personally believe that this time management skill actually is a byproduct of this kind of online course that we get. If I look back, it looks very challenging. I never thought I could manage, but once you get into there, and it's really a great experience, and you really enjoy it. And the accomplishment you get, the knowledge you gain, is of course unmatchable in that part. I would say rather than a challenge, it's an exciting journey.
That's great, thank you. That's great to hear.
Yeah, thank you.
Do you have any insightful tips to give on what it might take to succeed on one of our programs?
Someone, if you allow me, can I go first? All right. So I think tips preferably is to reading the handbook of your course is for me is the primary thing. Whenever you are in the first week, go through your handbook of your course, get familiarized with all the 6 weeks modules, as well as all the 6 modules in all of your course if you are doing a PGDIP, and try to collect your learning resources. One more tip would be talk to one of the colleagues who might have done the similar course, share your experiences. The best part would be if that colleague is from the same bag in the same cohort where you are having it, or anybody who has previously done it would add a lot more value into it. Then you will not feel like isolated. Because the only challenge in this online learning is mostly that we mostly write our reflections and write our activities, but sometimes there's very little time in which we share our personal learning experiences, like we're doing it in the open day. So that would be finding a buddy partner or anybody in your workplace would be a great idea who could keep inspiring you, because if you're a little bit lazy, maybe you need somebody to tap on your back. No, please go on, you can do it. So that's the human factor need to always be there, I think. Thank you.
Thank you. And Simona?
The tips that I would give to be successful in any of the programs would be, that study work-life balance, that's key. Another thing, don't be afraid to ask questions. The question that you think that you have, somebody else has had it as well, and there is always a solution for it. And then finally, the tutors, they feed off of your energy. So if you're engaging, you're excited, you're ready to learn, they would always go that extra mile for you, always wanting to, expand that learning experience, make it even better for you. So just enjoy it.
Great, that's great, thank you. And finally, Simona, what friendly advice would you give to prospective students who are thinking of applying?
Don't think about it, just apply. It would be the best decision you would make for you, in respect for your career, in respect for gaining new skills, the unlimited possibilities for networking. It definitely opens up, the options for your future. So just do it.
Great, thank you. Mohammed?
Yes, that's a great learning curve, I presume, and particularly in a virtual environment. There's no doubt about it that it does add a lot more value to your personal life as well as towards your professional life. The only thing might be that you would learn how to wake up early morning, or maybe stay awake till late nights to complete the assignments, or maybe to write down your academic reflection, but that's also an enjoyable part of it. It becomes a little bit demanding, but I think everybody who is here is capable of doing it. That's the most difficult decision. I think thinking about it, that enrolling in a program is the beginning of the journey, end of the beginning that you are gonna start a new journey, and hopefully it's going to be very rewarding.
That's great, thank you. Thank you. It's great to hear from both of you. Really enjoyed speaking to both of you today. Thank you again for your time. I hope that's helped you guys watching. If you're into minds about applying or understanding what it was like, to hear from students who are actually going through that at the moment. So thank you again. If you could stick around because you have any questions that you'd like to answer as well. So that's it from us now. So now it's time to move over to you guys for our Q&A. So I'm just going to have a look through the chat now. Thanks for submitting questions while I've been presenting. So let me have a look through. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so John has asked, what is the average student class size? Kaylee has said, the class size depends on the number of students enrolled into the programme, but it would never consist of more than around 15 students. We try to keep our class sizes quite not too large, so you don't get lost in it, and just a nice amount of students for you to talk with and discuss. So Celine's asked, what makes a good candidate? So Sarah, our admissions specialist, all students need to hold a medical degree in a health-related science and have clinical experience working within that field. In regards to applied health economics, leadership in healthcare, and the executive MBA in healthcare management, there are less clinical courses. We are able to accept applications from those outside this area. However, they would require work experience within a healthcare setting. Alani has asked, can you apply for more than one course? Yes, you're able to undertake 2 postgraduate diplomas at the same time. However, there are strict rules and regulations that need to be adhered to. So if you would like to find out more information about that, please contact our admissions team at admissions@learna.ac.uk for further information. Okay, so John's asked, can I catch up on learning in the evenings if I'm at work during the day? Yes, absolutely. As we discussed earlier, there is no set timetable. You can log on and learn whenever suits you and suits your schedule. What payment options are available? So you're able to pay for the course. You can either pay in full once you're accepted and you want to secure your place, or you can pay your deposit, and we have, as Kath mentioned earlier, interest-free payment plans that are available. We do have a page on our website which will take you to bursaries and funding. So if you wanted to look into that kind of options and what options are available for you there, there's lots of information you can find on that page there. Eloise, do I need to take time off work to do the course? No, there's no need for you to take time off work to do the course. As we've mentioned now, it's very, very flexible. You log in whenever you can, whenever suits you. We do recommend you do around about 2 hours a day, but obviously this can differ with your schedules just to help you keep on top of everything, but no need to take time off work. Let's see. Okay, so John's asked, will I get a proper certificate at the end of the course? And as Learna mentioned, or just university. So I should touch, if we haven't mentioned it previously already, so all of our courses are university validated, and we currently work with 3 universities in partnership with them to help run our courses. So they are the University of South Wales, the University of Buckingham, and the University of Gibraltar. So in answer to your question, John, you will receive the certificate from the university running the course. So this will just look like a degree certificate, the same as everybody else who is studying with that university. It will not mention that you studied online. Let's see. Okay, so Violetta has asked, hello, is the material released by week, or is it released all simultaneously? So Kaylee has kindly answered, your tutor will usually post the scenarios throughout each week of the module on a Monday and Wednesday. However, all questions will be submitted before Friday for students to work on over the weekend if needed. Okay, and Katrina, do you offer the courses every year or twice a year? So we do 2 intakes a year, one in March and one in September. So we are actually coming up to the application deadline for our March cohort, which is on the 13th of February. So if you are thinking you want to join us for March, I'd recommend get your applications in as soon as possible. The application process is competitive and there are limited spaces, and especially around this time now when we're coming up to the application deadline, we're getting a lot of applications in and spaces are filling up. So I would recommend you get that in as soon as possible. And have a look through some questions here. So Selena's asked, how much one-to-one time do students get with tutors? So your tutor is there to facilitate andragogical learning and discourse within the group rather than formally teach. We try to ensure that you will experience a variety of tutors throughout your time on the programme. However, you are also able to communicate on a one-to-one basis with your tutor via a private messaging service on our Moodle platform. In addition, your tutor will provide weekly feedback throughout the module. Okay, do we have any other questions coming in now? I'll just give everyone a few moments just in case you want to submit anything. Okay.
Stacey, can I just add while we're there, and if anybody's thinking of any other questions, a really good question for us to ask the students or potential students who are with us today is any future courses. So there was a question about, can I take more than one program at the same time? Gosh, you'd be brave if you did, because they are challenging as we've discussed, and rightly so. But what we do find is that students will enjoy the experience so much they'll go on and then they'll pick up another topic. And indeed, part of my role, of course, is looking at our future programs and adding to our portfolio. So if you don't see what you're looking for today and you are thinking of a particular topic, then please let us know in the chat, or please email us afterwards, because we have a long list of a long wish list of topics that we want to cover. And it's really just finding that magic of getting the expert tutors and the program leads in place to cover a variety of topics within healthcare and particularly. So please let us know. We are always keen to hear, and we do develop all of our programs with a lot of stakeholder engagement, and yourselves, your stakeholders as well. You are our future students, and hopefully you will soon become our alumni, and we want to involve your input into all stages of the development of the programs. Our university partners are very keen on that as well, so that we certainly develop topics and particular modules or particular areas of expertise that you may not find elsewhere. We're very good at bringing that content together very quickly with our network of experts that we have available to us. So yeah, please add that into the commentary as well, just in case you don't see exactly what you're looking for right now.
Yeah, fantastic. Excellent point there, Helen. Thank you for that. Okay, well, I think that's a good place to leave it today. Thank you for everyone coming along. We appreciate you for coming, all our experts, our students, everyone here answering my questions. It's been great to meet you all and to chat with you, and I hope you guys watching have found it beneficial. For those of you who have joined us a little bit late, don't worry, we are recording the session and it will be emailed out to you in the next day or two, as well as being on our YouTube channel as well, so to look out for that. And so yeah, once again, thank you all for joining us, and we hope to see you soon.